welcome. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Be sure to click that bell notification to get all of my latest, newest, and updated videos. I sure would appreciate it. And thanks to all of my subscribers that are back and checking this video out. Okay, let's get to it. So, I was going through my email messages and I came across an old one from about 2 years ago, around this time actually, and it was a subscriber asking, how do you keep your Mexican rice warm if you're feeding a large crowd, maybe 50 people or more? And that is a very good question because, again, it is summer is coming up, graduation season is upon us, so that means what? Gatherings, parties, celebrations, and particularly my aunt, I remember her doing this for two of her parties, for two of her kids that graduated. Basically, I can end the video now and just tell you the whole secret of how we do that, and that is using an ice chest, an ice cooler. We line it with foil or parchment paper. You make pans of rice, and as they're done, you put them right into the ice cooler, cover it, and it keeps it hot and insulated for at least up to maybe 3 to 4 hours, at least 4 hours. And it's the perfect way to basically serve your guests through a period of time, hot rice, or at least warm. And it's another way, definitely if you're cooking at your own party, if you just don't have it in your budget to cater, and obviously you're trying to pull resources and serve your guests, it's very budget efficient. You're basically, who doesn't have an ice cooler? And even if you don't have an ice cooler, you can go get those little throwaway ones. That works as well. Now, I'm not necessarily going to give you a recipe. We kind of eyeball it. If we have maybe 50 to 100 guests, we make just pans and pans of rice to fill up a big ice cooler. And if there's leftover, great. And we kind of make more than maybe what we need just to be on the safe side. So it's going to depend how many people you are going to serve. And it's just something that's so easy, budget friendly. And if you are the only one cooking for this party, it allows you to make tons of rice, keep it in the cooler, and you can go get yourself ready, do other things. You're not cooking rice as your guests are there. So again, this is just a very efficient and budget-friendly way to get the job done. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is wash and rinse this rice thoroughly. Now, when I'm making a small pan of rice, I kind of skip this step because I'm just being lazy and in a hurry. But if you are going to store lots and lots of rice in an insulated ice chest, you'll want to make sure that you rid of the starch to keep a very fluffy rice. Because remember, if it's going to sit in an ice chest for a period of time, it'll sort of continue cooking. You don't want it to turn to mush, so you'll want to keep a nice fluffy textured rice throughout your party. So I do suggest you thoroughly washing your rice. And I didn't have my wire mesh sieve, so I'm using a tea cloth inside a large strainer. So once my rice is rinsed and I've strained it well enough, I'm going to start cooking it. Here I'm working with 3 cups of rice and I'm preheating my pot. I'm adding oil. Around this amount of rice to toast it, I'm using probably a 1/4 cup of oil. So once the oil is hot, I am going to mix that around in my pot just to sort of spread it out. And then I'm going to add my washed rice. And again, you'll want to strain the rice well. You don't want too much water going into hot oil. Okay, so I'm working with a low, somewhere between a low and medium heat, and I'm going to toast the rice until it starts to toast and turn a golden color. And depending how high or low you have your burner, that will determine how long that will take. But you don't want to cook on high because you don't want anything to burn before it actually has a chance to evenly toast. So once my rice is toasted, I'm going to add 3 Knorr bouillon cubes. And this is the type that has the tomato flavoring included. You can make the rice of your choice. However you like to make your rice, do that. I find this method super easy when I'm making pots and pots of rice. So basically 3 cups of rice are toasted. I'm adding 3 tomato chicken flavored bouillon cubes. I'm going to break that up. You could also dissolve it in water to make it easier. I'm just a creature of habit and I always do it this way. So I'm just going to break apart the bouillon cube and it'll start toasting a little bit. You don't want to burn it. So now I'm going to add my ground cumin. Again, the ratio of ingredients is completely up to your preference. Probably to 3 cups of rice, I'm going to add somewhere between a 1/2 teaspoon and a full teaspoon of ground cumin. a half teaspoon of onion powder, and a half teaspoon to a full teaspoon of granulated garlic powder. Again, add more or add less. It's up to you. You could also do a more fresh style Mexican rice, which is more traditional, where you blend tomatoes, onion, and garlic, ground cumin seeds, and black pepper. It's up to you. So now I'm going to add 6 cups of water. I'm going to give everything a mix. Not too much. I don't want to stir and make things mushy towards the end. You just want to combine it. And now I'm going to add freshly cracked black pepper, and that is it. This is what I like to do when I am throwing parties, because I find that it just pleases everyone. I don't add veggies. I don't add onion. I just do the powdered version of garlic and onion, the pepper, and the bouillon cubes. I find that it's just a simple way to make lots of rice, and it's a crowd pleaser because no one's complaining about veggies and onions. Okay, so once it's up to a simmer, I'm going to cover it, lower the heat, and I'm going to cook this for somewhere between 18 to 20 minutes. And once my rice is done, I'm going to uncover it and just fluff and add it right into the Igloo ice chest. Okay, so how about that? Ice chest. It keeps a lot of rice and it keeps it warm and hot for a long period of time. It's perfect for gatherings, parties, when you're feeding a large crowd. And again, depending on how many people you invite or you're planning to feed, you'll have to adjust how much rice you're making. For example, that is a 6.9 quart pot. I made 3 cups of uncooked rice in that comfortably. I find that if I go over 3 cups in a large pot, it kind of goes downhill from there. It doesn't quite turn out the way I want it, so I limit myself 3 cups per large, pot to make pans and pans of rice until I fill up the ice chest, or at least I know I have enough for the guests. So again, depending how many people you're going to feed, that's going to determine how many pots of rice you're going to make. So there you have it. That's my pro tip for keeping and feeding large amounts of people Mexican rice for like parties. And definitely in the past when we've done this for family gatherings, the rice really does stay warm for hours. And what we do is we serve it, like we put out kind of one of those catering trays that you put like the little flame underneath the tray. We'll serve the rice, and as it dwindles down and the tray becomes empty, we'll just scoop out more from the ice chest underneath the table. And that's how you can do it presentation wise. You don't have to have a big ice chest. I'll be honest, sometimes we just do keep the ice chest on the table because it's very low key, it's nothing fancy. But if you're doing something that you want to have that catered look and you have all those all those little warmer trays like the catering services have, you'll definitely just want to add rice as the night progresses, so at least you have warm rice throughout. I hope you found that very helpful. I will leave links to other videos in the description below. Please subscribe, please like, please share if you found it helpful, and maybe you'll stick around for the next video. And until then, go check out all my other videos. You might find those helpful as well. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope I find you back on my channel. I hope you become part of this community. I love my community. We are going and growing, and we are fantastic. Super proud of you guys. So I hope you give this recipe a try, or this tip. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.